on fire.
Because that's how exotic it is.
We are The Source, WOCA, news, talk, sports, and more.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
Five minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Friday morning. Remember the show, I've Got a Secret?
Oh, yeah.
There would be a guest, and the panel would have to guess what the secret was. Can you imagine having a secret that you are blind and nobody knew it? Because you've been living your life as if you weren't blind. That is the story, in part, that we're going to hear right now. Philip DiMeo is on the phone. He's a former cartoonist for The Post, Crossroads, and the Vietnam veterans newspaper, The Honey Bucket. His cartoons were featured in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. You said he's from an area not too far from where you grew up, right?
Yep.
What was the city?
He's from Wauwatosa, and I'm from Cudahy.
And how far is that from?
Right outside of Milwaukee, about 7 miles.
Oh, wow. He's a retired social worker for Milwaukee County Children's Protective Services. He has been a coach of the Kelly's Bleachers, the most successful co-ed softball team in Milwaukee history. And his book about this subject of being blind and keeping it a secret is called Binoculars, Masquerading as a Sighted Person. It is his memoir. Philip F. DiMeo. Good morning, Philip.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Am I saying your last name correctly?
It's DiMeo.
DiMeo. I'm sorry. And where are you right now? Are you in Milwaukee?
I'm in Wauwatosa, and right next to me is my beautiful black Labrador guide dog, Tessie.
Oh.
Aww.
Wow. So are you completely blind, or can you see anything?
No, I can't see anything. I'm completely blind. I see sparklers, blotches, and lights going on and off, but that's all I see.
Oh, wow. So sparklers meaning the fireworks sparklers? You can see them?
Yes. The sparklers in front of me. It's my retina shutting off, and it's sending messages to the brain, to the optic nerve. And because that's what I'm seeing, it's like I'm hallucinating.
And can I ask you how long you've been blind?
I was first diagnosed at the age of 32. I have retinitis pigmentosa, so apparently I was born with this, and it progresses very, very slowly. At first, I was aware that I was night blind. I had trouble going from light to dark. My eyes wouldn't adjust. I also I had trouble seeing at night, and I had no depth perception, and I had tunnel vision. And then it got progressively worse, where my visual field constricted to a point where I have no vision at all.
Wow, so you have artistic talents, obviously, if you were a cartoonist. Were you a cartoonist while you were going blind, or could you see perfectly when you started?
I was going blind. It wasn't that bad. And then I was also a cartoonist for my union newspaper, and I could barely see. And also I started an underground controversial newsletter called DOA. And I had to quit when I could barely see the pen that I was drawing with.
Oh, my goodness. So is it sort of like Beethoven composing when he's deaf? I mean, were you able in other words, did you know the material so well that you really could just put the pen to paper and do it without seeing it?
Yeah, I did, but I used dark markers and bright lights with full spectrum and magnifiers.
My goodness. And why did you choose to keep it a secret?
Because at the time, my wife stayed home to raise 3 children. She was a teacher. She stayed home, and so I was supporting my family, and I was afraid if they found out that I was losing my eyesight, I could be terminated. Even though I was working for a government agency, I was afraid that I could be terminated. Wow. Or transferred to a job with less pay.
So how did you get to work? Did you drive?
At first I did, but I was involved in 8 accidents in 2.5 years.
Oh, gee.
Oh, yeah. No.
I drove by the Braille method. In fact, I had more notches on my steering wheel than John Wesley Hardin had on his gun. You know.
What is the Boyle method? What is that?
The Braille method.
What is that? Oh, the Braille method. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you said.
And my last accident occurred when I was 43 years old. I was driving to work, and I could barely see. And I saw the flashing light So I stepped on the gas, and next thing I knew, I heard an explosion. I was in a paramedic's van. Another driver had ran a light. He was in a van, and I was in a small car, an Omni. And I got hit head on, and I was taken to the hospital. And that was when I decided to quit driving.
But it was the other person's fault, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, that was the only time it was.
Oh, my goodness.
What's fascinating about you is that this condition started when you were 4, and you didn't want to let anybody know.
No. I was told I had a lazy eye. And so I when I was 5, they gave me a pair of corrective glasses as I went to a specialist. And no, they didn't say anything about retinitis pigmentosa. Simply, I had a lazy eye, so I had a pair of corrective glasses. And every 2 weeks, I'd smash them, getting in scuffles with other boys, and I'd go back and get another pair. And then I was checked out by a specialist when I was a teenager, and no, there was no mention of RP or anything.
Did you serve in the Vietnam War?
No, I was actually, I flunked my physical. Even though I flunked my eye test, they passed me on that, but they flunked me because I had a bad knee. I had 4 knee operations, and that's how I...
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but they passed me, even though I flunked my eye test pretty bad, they still passed me on that.
When you had to finally admit to yourself that you were blind and that your life would be changing, what kind of emotional roller coaster were you on?
Well, I was down for a while, and in fact, what I did was I was having trouble doing my work, and I was pretending that I was driving, so I would take the bus to work, get off about 2 or 3 blocks from where I work, run through an alley, then run into the parking lot and walk out like I had just parked my car. It got to a point where I couldn't do my paperwork anymore because we were doing computer forms, and some of them were colored. So I actually went. We had a new directress come in. I work for the Department on Aging. I went and I told her about my condition. She said, if you agree, I will send you to Milwaukee Area Technical College where you could learn computers, cane walking, which I hated. I never used it, and Braille, which I never used either. But and so I went to MATC, Milwaukee Area Technical College, basically to learn how to become a blind man.
Wow.
And that's what happened.
And so we actually have a little bit of experience with some of the tools that blind people use to manage through the day, because Robin and I used to do this radio show, believe it or not, where we would read the newspaper for the blind. And
every day.
And so we got familiar with the Florida Center for the Blind, and they gave us a tour. Actually, Robin took a class on cooking with blindfolds on, so she understood learned how a blind person can cook without a sight, without vision. Mm-hmm. So are those skills? Were you reluctant to learn those kind of skills?
No, actually, I didn't learn cooking. I mean, I had done it before, but I felt like I was under a microscope when I went to MATC. I hated using a cane. I used it when I was there, but I wouldn't use it at work. And then one day I walked into a secretary, and she spilled coffee on her, and then I was ordered to use a cane at work. So I used it at work, but then when I wasn't at work, I folded it up and put it away. I wouldn't use it at all when I was
Okay,
at
work. So the people around you knew that you were having an eyesight problem.
At work, it was amazing. They actually didn't, even though it was evident. And then one day, one of the girls, in fact, years later, she was on my softball team, and she saw me walking around with a cane, and she said, I thought, what the bleep is he up to? So they actually didn't know.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow. So tell me about coaching. How do you coach when you can't see?
Everybody asks me that. By listening, well, first of all, I recruit my players, and then and I get to I get a feel of what they are. I listen to other players, and then during a game, I tell them exactly what I want them to do. I make my substitutions, and I can tell by listening. For example, if a ground ball is hit to third or short, I can tell when the ball is thrown to first by the sound of the ball hitting the glove before the runner crosses. And I always say I can always tell what's going on, because if a girl shouts blah 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 and throws her bat, I know she made out. She shouts a profanity insults.
Yeah. You're really, really funny. I mean, you really have a humorous streak about you also.
Well, I don't know about that. That's what they say.
And you have that same way of talking that everybody I know from Wisconsin had. Robin and her family. So let's see. It says here to ask you about working with in a dangerous area like child protection. What does that mean?
Well, I was basically like I say, I wanted to be a cartoonist, but then while I was working to be a cartoonist, I got a job at Milwaukee County, and I was sent out to what they call the medical division, working with the elderly. But I used to coach on playgrounds, and I loved working with kids, so I transferred into child protection. And what we did, investigate child abuse and neglect, and basically what we did was we snatched kids. Everybody would say, well, what do you do? I snatch kids. And if you're going through an abusive situation, if it looked really bad, you took the kid over to Children's Hospital, and then you'd have a court hearing. So I basically investigated abuse and neglect of children.
I gotcha. Okay. We need to take a little break, but we will be back. Philip DiMeo?
Yeah. DiMeo.
DiMeo, okay, is on the phone. His book is called Binoculars, Masquerading as a Sighted Person. It is his memoir, calling us from, hold on, I got the name of the city right here, Wauwatosa?
Yes.
Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. How many miles? 7 miles from where Robin grew up.
Yeah.
Right? All right, we'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Today, partly sunny, a high of 88 to 91. Then tonight, mainly clear skies, a low of 70 to 76. Tomorrow, to start the weekend, partly sunny, a thunderstorm in parts of the area for the afternoon, a high of 89 to 94. And then to round out the weekend on Sunday, partly sunny, a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, a high of 88 to 96. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Evan Duffy.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your mobile Verizon rep. But not just here, I'll deliver the phone to you in your home. While I'm there, I'll only sell you what you need, and I'll personalize it to you. Want to have me get you connected? Then call me at 352-528-0020. I even offer unlimited home phone service for just $20 per month. Just call me, your mobile Verizon rep, at 352-528-0020.
So you need a credit card, but how do you choose? Let's compare the big banks to Florida Credit Union. They have rewards, and we do too. They have customer service. Hello, 24/7. They have celebrities. Hey, Danny. But with Florida Credit Union, there's no annual fee, no liability for fraudulent charges, and no 22% interest rates. Choose Florida Credit Union, and you'll not only have a great credit card, but you'll have the support and personal touch that the big banks, well, can't touch. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Come join New Male Medical, the experts in men's sexual health, and celebrate the opening of their newest location in the Villages this Friday from 11 to 1 at 8640 County Road 466. That's at the Santa Fe crossing on 466 going towards Rolling Acres. There will be free food and refreshments for all in attendance. Spend some time touring the facilities, and men get a free testosterone screening. For more information, call 404-4779. That's 404-4779.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
12 minutes before 10 o'clock, let's return to our guest. Philip DiMeo is on the phone up in Wisconsin. He's the author of the book titled Binoculars, Masquerading as a Sighted Person. It is his memoir, and if you heard the first part, it's exactly what he has done in spite of the fact that he was a cartoonist. So vision was an important part of what he was doing for a living, and coaching kids and working with endangered kids, etc. So what do you do right now, Philip?
Well, I'm writing. I'm on another book, and I'm coaching my softball team. We are currently undefeated going into the second half of the season. I have 265 wins and 38 losses.
Wow!
I'm going for my 15th championship title.
Wow! Well, good for you. So it's really all about knowing what you're doing more than seeing what you're doing, right?
Oh yeah, but I also other players have heard about me, and I have people call me and they want to join the team. In fact, a couple of years ago, I had advertised for a lady outfielder to play left center field, and I got a call from this lady in Chicago, and she was asking me about the team, and she said, "Is your team diverse? Half my team's African American." I know what she meant. I said, "Lady, my team is so diverse that the coach is a blind man and the assistant coach is a Labrador."
That's pretty funny. Well, that's great. So what I want to ask you, did you have any emotional issues as you were losing eyesight? Was there depression, sadness, anything?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depression set in. It's a normal reaction. I could actually, my visual field was closing in on me. And I wrote in a book, it's like being in a room where the walls are closing, like one of those matinee serials. I could actually look ahead and see the edges of my visual field. There was like a brownish, gray, ugly haze, and I could tell that it was closing in.
Oh wow! Is there anything with technology that might enable you to see again?
Well, they're working on that. They're working on computer chips and stem cells and everything. Right. But right now, nothing that I know of.
So we know a few people who are blind who do use the internet, and it's all audible. Do you use the internet?
Oh, yeah, I use the internet, and I have JAWS job applications with speech, so everything, and that's how I write, too. So whatever, I type out or wherever is on the internet, I can hear it. It reads it out to me.
Well, and I was thinking about the cartooning part of what you do. You're obviously a talented writer, and I always thought that cartoonists were, in addition to the drawings, it's the ideas, it's the words in the cartoon that really makes them special. It's not necessarily the pictures. Every cartoon has its own look, but could you continue with the cartooning? Just have somebody else do the pictures? I mean, you created the pictures at one time. You could continue doing the word part.
Yeah, I thought about it too, but I haven't gone into it. Right now. I'm working on writing. What I do is I listen to books, audio books, to get a sense of how to phrase sentences, and then I write. And I haven't thought about doing any cartooning anymore.
When somebody has a secret that they're afraid of revealing, and then they finally do, they always describe it as having a big weight off of their shoulders. Did that happen for you?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I was more, I was more comfortable with myself after this. I didn't have to pretend anymore, that was a big weight lift, especially when I quit driving too.
Yeah, the whole town must have been happy about that. Yeah. So a personal question: you were married at the time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But your wife knew you were going blind, right?
Oh yeah. In fact, as I wrote in a book, when we used to go somewhere to events, she would drive there, and then we'd switch positions, and it would be me going into the parking lot, even though she's grabbing the wheel.
Oh, how fun!
Oh no!
And then when we used to go to parties, she would be in back of me, and she would grab me by the shoulders and steer me around, tables and chairs and walls and doorways and people. Yeah.
Oh, how fun is that?
So the book is called Binoculars. It's a great choice of a title. Is there anything more to it than what I see about the title?
Well, yeah. Basically, what it was I never really knew that I had a restricted visual field, and so what I wrote about, it was like looking through a pair of binoculars, where you have the borders on each side. And
right.
All my friends, I said, where they were looking at things in in Panavision, Technicolor, widescreen, I was looking through a pair of binoculars, not aware of what was going on around me.
Because of the advancement in technology, do you feel that one day part of your sight might be restored?
It's possible. I was to an ophthalmologist 4 years ago, and she said they're still working on it. It's actually really funny. When I went, they sent me to a low vision specialist in 1991. When I went to MATC. So this guy was a gadget guru, and so he was giving me all kinds of stuff, magnifiers. So he gave me a pair of glasses with mirrors on the side, like a car. It was really crazy because I could see he said, try them on. So I'm looking, I could see on the side, except I couldn't see what was in front of me, and I tripped and fell over a bunch of tables.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, gosh.
You have such a good attitude about something that would devastate some people. Did that take a while to develop? I'm guessing the good attitude was there before, But it must have been, it must have had its day where it was on the back seat for a while. Your good attitude, I mean.
Oh yeah, no, I had my I had my down days and everything, and every once in a while I do when if I walk into a wall or something, but which my head is a magnet for doors and walls and chairs and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I had my down period, but then you have to learn to adapt. And also, I've learned not to take myself real serious in certain things. I take the softball thing real serious in my writing,
right.
And I work out every day too. I take that serious. But you have to learn to adjust and adapt. And if you don't, you will not be a mentally healthy person. I've learned that.
Do you write? I know this is a weird question, or maybe not so weird. But do you write visually when you are in the writing process? Are you seeing what you're writing in your mind's eye?
I'm not seeing what I'm writing, but I'm visualizing what happened. Like there's a part in a book where
That's what I mean.
A retaining wall into a river. It was on New Year's Day of 1985. I stepped off a ledge. I didn't know where I was, and I fell 10 feet, bounced off another ledge and fell, and I was underwater and in river.
Wow.
And I visualized that, yes. I could hear the water running, and I visualized every aspect of it. In fact, when I fell off the wall, it's in a book. I felt like I was in slow motion. I still remember it very, very, very vividly.
Is your guide dog always on guard for you, even when he knows that she's not working?
She's a dog when she's not working. When she's in harness, I'm sure you have experience with that too. When she's in harness, she's all business. But when she's not, this dog is. Boy, she really likes to roughhouse. My other dog, LaDonna, wasn't as much as physical as this dog. This dog really likes to roughhouse. But, so when she's not in harness, she's a dog. She's running around, she's barking, but when she's in harness, she's working.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, thank you for being on the air with us. We've got a few minutes. I want to make sure the listeners can look you up online or get the book. The book is called Binoculars. Where is the book sold? Do you have a website?
I don't have a website, but you can order it on Amazon.com. It's everywhere.
Okay.
They advertise it at Walmart. Yeah, Amazon.com is, it's on there.
Is this your first book?
Yes, my first published book.
I started
out writing about my experience as a child protection worker. And then and with no mention of my of my disability whatsoever. But this is my first published book.
Oh.
Have any of the children that you helped have they grown up and tried to contact you to thank you for getting them out of abusive relationships?
I haven't heard from many of them. Most of them were like 2, 3, 4. Maybe one was, several of them were 6 months that, the children were being starved, and I had to remove them. Yeah, but no, I haven't had any contact with any of my, any of the children.
I just went to the website. Okay, it's available as a Kindle, which is good. I love the Kindle, and the Kindle will read to me. I mean, it's got a voice in the Kindle. Did you release Binoculars as an audiobook?
It is. It's on audio. In fact, I ordered a copy, but they were all out at the Library for the Blind. But I ordered a copy. It's on audio.
Oh, okay.
Are you doing the reading? Your voice?
No. Actually, there's a woman. Her name is Barbara Nevers. She does the audio books for. It's called Able here, and they provide books for visually impaired people. And she does the reading.
Wow. I'm guessing that people who are. Well, let me just say this, and I'm just guessing, truly a guess, that somebody who's born blind has a different attitude about being blind than somebody who went blind in life like you did.
Well, yes, I've talked to many people, and they don't visualize things. They've never seen a tree or a sunset or anything like that. So it's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
You are a truly wonderful mentor for everyone, sir, and you have such a great personality.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I do think that as well. I think you're not only inspiring those who are going blind, but those who have any kind of an obstacle. Mm-hmm. I really think you're speaking on behalf of people with challenges, with obstacles, and who doesn't? Mm-hmm. So I think you're really making a statement that goes beyond what the surface looks like. Philip, what a joy to talk to you. Thank you so much for being on the air.
Well, thank you. And Robin, I'll give you regards to Cudahy next time I'm there.
Oh, thank you so much.
What I was going to ask you to do is to hold the phone out the window so I could hear that factory she always talks about.
Laddish.
Laddish. I used to go past her. I used to bike there on my way to Grant Park.
Oh, my gosh. How wonderful.
It's noisy, Robin said.
I live in Wauwatosa. There's no factories around here.
Oh, okay. Philip, DiMeo, thank you so much for being on the air. The book, again, is called Binoculars. We put the website, or the information, rather, on our guest list. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you both.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The president pitches his own party on a controversial trade bill up for a vote in the House where
only about 20 Democrats support the president on the issue. As a result, the president is relying on Republicans to pass the measure. Fast Track will give the president the power to submit trade deals to